Okay, in this video we're going to go over a basic introduction on sets. Yeah. So well, in math, I believe we have all been dealing with such operations such as plus, minus, division, as well as multiplication. Okay, so under sets you're going to be dealing with something different. Of course, it almost means the same thing as the plus, the minus, but in a different version. Okay, so what we have is we're going to have our union. We have our union right there. We understand what our union means. We have our intersection. We have our what? We understand what it means by a subset. Okay, we're going to understand what it means by what? A complement, or sometimes it's written as what? A small c right there as a power. Okay, we're going to understand what it means by what? An empty set. What is really an empty set? Yeah. So when it comes to union, what union basically means is that you are getting two or more sets and bringing them together, making one thing. So let's say you have set A and set what? Set B. Okay, you have set A and set B. Then let's say if you have to illustrate this in a Venn diagram. Okay. Okay. So you have your set here. Okay. You have another one here. Then you have your A here intersecting what? Intersecting B. Then if the statement says A union B, it basically means everything that is in A as well as everything that is in B, then put them together. Union meaning unionize, put whatever that you are given together. So basically one word that I can use for union is just the word comprehensive, meaning whatever that you have, whatever that you have, that you are from finding, whether you're from simplifying, whatever, unionize it, meaning get everything, all the parts, and put them together. That is what it basically means. So I'll just say what? Comprehensive, yeah, so on and so forth. Then for intersection, you're just talking about something common, like let me say a common region. Okay, a common region, shared by what? By sets. I don't want to say two sets because sometimes you find there are a number of sets that are involved, not just two sets, maybe three, so on and so forth. Okay, then for a subset, when you say a set is a subset of another set, it means it's within that set. Let's say you're talking about A being a subset of what? A subset of B. What does it mean? It means it's more like we are writing it in this manner. It's like we have our B here and we have our what? Our A here, meaning A is part of what? Part of B. That is what a subset means. Okay, that is what a subset basically means. Alright, so now what about a complement? So when it comes to a complement, you're talking about something outside what you are given. Let's say you are given this set. Let's say I draw the Venn diagram here. Okay, let's say you have set A here. Then if we say A complement, you're trying to find anything outside what? Outside A, meaning anything part of A is what you are looking for, and what we have here is our what? Our universal set. Anything outside A is what you are looking for when talking about A what? A complement, meaning whatever you have here in this universal set is your what? Is your A complement, meaning it's because it basically means it's not part of what? It's not part of A. Alright, so things get more interesting when you're talking about two sets and you're talking about a complement of one of the sets. Let's say you have this. Okay, let's say you have these two sets. You have your A, you have your B, then you say A complement. What this means is that, of course, you're looking for what is outside A. But if you look at this part is outside A. But does it mean it's our answer? Our answer is quite correct, but it's not complete. Why? Because we are saying anything outside A is our business, meaning even this part. Meaning this part here is what? Is also what we're doing what we are looking for. Alright, so that is how a complement works. So sometimes it's not always that you're just going to be given A alone. Maybe they might say what, A intersecting what, intersecting B, they put them in brackets, then say complement. Means look for A intersecting B. Where intersection B, where is A intersection B? Is this part in the middle here. Then complement that, meaning get whatever is outside this what, this intersection is what you're looking for. That is what that statement would mean there. Because it's not every time when you're only given what, a single set to find the complement. Then when it comes to what we have here, this shows, say, it's what, it's an empty set. Empty what? Empty set. That is what that means right there, and it's an empty set. So you can either present it in this manner, or you can present it not in that manner. But when the question asks you to present an empty set, don't use both, just use one. If you use both, your answer is going to be wrong. Let's say you are going to put it in this manner. You have those curly brackets there, right there, then we put that inside, you do that. That is wrong, very wrong, and you're going to get a 0, unfortunately. Okay, so these two mean the same thing, hence we use them. We don't use them simultaneously. We use them like, you either use the other one or you use the other one to mean the same thing. That is what it means. So, and again, another point that we need to remember is that when you're given a set, let's say set of these elements, we are given B, you're given C, you're given L, you're given what? You're given M right here. So these B, C, L, M are elements of set M. And if you want to find subsets of this set, we should use this formula. You use what? 2 to the power what? N. N is the number of elements that you have here. What's the number of elements that you have? Is the what? So meaning we say N is equals to what? Is equals to 4. Okay, N is equals to 4. So when you start listing these elements that we have right here, meaning we are going to list them individually first. You're going to have what? You're going to have your B here as its own sets. Okay, you're going to have your what? Your C on its own. It's its own element. We have your what? Your L. Okay. You have your what? You have your M alone as well. Comma. Meaning then from here we start pairing them. I'll pair what? I'll pair B with what? B with C. Okay, I'll pair B with C. Then I'll pair again B with what? B with L. I close. I'll pair what? B with what? B with M. I close. Then again I will start pairing. I'll pair what? I will not pair B with C because I already paired. I will not pair C with B. I only pair what? C with what? C with L. Okay, I'll pair C with M right here. Down here again, since C is done, I'll go to my L. I've already paired C and L, but I've not yet paired what? L and M. I've not paired L and M. Okay, then what else do I have? I can pair them 3 again. I can pair with, I can say B, C, L. I close. I open again. I can have what? I can have B, C, comma what? Comma M. What can you have again here on? So here you can pair C, L with what? With M. Okay, it's getting interesting. You can also pair. We already have our CL with M. We already have a BCL. We already have a BCM. So do we have our LCB? We already have it. Okay, how many do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, we have our 13 here. So obviously there's one that is remaining. Yeah, so we can also get the whole set the way it is. We can put it here. We can have our all that. Okay, then at last we should need to have what? We need to have we need to have an empty set. So we close and we close the other end. So just in case we have done everything correct here, they are supposed to be what, 16, because for you to find the subsets of this set is that you have to just have to say 2 to the power n. Since our n is equals to 4, you say what, 2 to the power what, 4. Here are saying 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, giving us what, giving us 16. That is what that means right there. So if you get, even if you want to try it on your own, you can try to get a set with few elements, then it's going to, yeah, make more sense right there. Okay, all right. So what we are going to do is that we are going to use questions from past papers starting from 2018 to 2021. Those are the papers that we are going to use. Okay, so remember to say, as I earlier stated from the beginning of the video, is to say in this video only catering paper 1 questions, then the next one will be for what, paper 2 questions, right? So you're starting from 2018. So it was very important for us to understand how to use the operations, because usually paper 1 questions, they just ask you to shade or to describe the shaded region. Okay, so we're going to go to 2018 GCE as our first question. Okay. Right. So now question number go to question number 5 was the question that was given under sets. Okay, so just hold on a minute, I'm trying to open the question. Okay, paper 1 GC, that was question 5. Alright, okay, so we were given question 5 as the question says to answer. So we were given this set. Okay, we were given this Venn diagram. We have our universal set right here, then we have 3 sets that are intersecting. We have our A, our B as our and our C. So now the shaded region was what, was this part. So since we understand issues of the complements and the intersection, the union, it's going to be very easy for us to answer this question. So when you look at C, C is not shaded. What does it mean? C is a complement. It means C, we were shading, but not what is in C. That is what that basically means. So it says C is a what? In this case, C is a what? Is a complement. So what we have here, we look at our part of our A and part of our B is shaded. So meaning this is just related to what? A union what? A union B. Okay, so what's the relationship between the C and this part that we have here is part of C, and if we were to shade this part, you could have made the conclusion that this is A union B, but it's not shaded. So it basically means our C complement, meaning C is not shaded, is intersecting what? Intersecting A union what? Union B. You can either write it like this, or we can take it the other side. Okay, so in which other way can we see this? Let's say we are not given this Venn diagram. Let's say we have our C complement intersection B, then we are being asked to do what? To shade. So how can we do it? So here's the easiest method that you can use. Alright, so this is a universal set A, B, C. Okay, so now remember here, this is our C complement. Our C complement. So C complement talking about anything outside what? Anything outside C. So this is what we shade. I'll use yellow. We use vertical what? Vertical lines. I want to shade, but not shading what? Not shading C. Okay. Not shading C is what I'm looking for. Then the other part I should shade what? I should shade A union B. So I'll try to use a different color. So here I'm going to use horizontal line so that we see what we are talking about there. So that is what we have there as our what? Our A union B. So now the question you ask yourself is that what type of operation am I using? Is it union or is it intersection? What I'm using is basically intersection. So we are looking for where the yellow lines are meeting the green lines. So check this one. I'll try to draw the boundary. This is what we have. This is the region where the yellow lines are meeting what? The green lines. That's the region that we have right there. So just try to make some crossing using lines. You maybe put diagonal, like major diagonal, minor diagonal. Look at where they are meeting. If you're talking about intersecting, meaning looking about what is common between or among those sets that you're going to do what, that you're going to have. So that is how you answer that was the way we are supposed to answer what, the 2018 GCE paper. So we go to the 2018 school certificate paper. Okay, 2018 again, school certificate. Okay, so you say this was the question that was given was okay, the question that was given was question 4. Okay, we are given question 4. So what we are given was something like this. Okay, this is what we were given, something like this. Okay, so we had this as our bigger set. Of course, this is our universal set. Then inside this set we had two sets that we are doing what, that we are intersecting. This was our A, this was our B, and this was our C, and the shaded region was just this part. So when you look at this, B and C have not been shaded, meaning we are talking about B union what, union C. So these are what, this is a complement. So the question is that, are we using union A or intersection A? So just by looking at this, we are looking at what, intersecting what, intersecting A. Because let's say we ignore all of this, okay, we ignore all of this. Okay, we ignore what we have here. So now we are talking about B union C complement. Okay, this is our B, this is our C. We are talking about what is outside B union C, meaning this is what we have outside what, outside B union what, union C. So I want to try to make sense out of our answer. Alright, so now we have already shaded our B union C complement. Anything outside B union C is what we are looking for. Then we shade what, our A. So this is our A. Remember to say B union C is still part of what, still part of A. So still again we are still looking for the part where the yellow lines and the blue lines are what, are intersecting, meaning where they are crossing each other. That's the part of that's our area of what, our area of interest. So this is the region. So this region here is what we see, what we have. So meaning excuse me, we have made sense out of what, out of the answer that we have found, meaning our answer is what, is very correct. So try your level best to use lines to make your work simple, and try to take it step by step, yeah, so that it will be very simple and easy for you. So we go to the 2019 paper, 2019 GCE. Yeah, this one we're going to be quick since you already understand what we are doing now. We say that was question what? It was question 5 that was given. So we were given this Venn diagram here. Okay. What we had 3 sets that were intersecting. Okay. we had set A, set B, set C, and we have our what? Our universal set. And the part that was shaded was what? Was this part. So how do you make your work simple? Look at this. A and B have not been shaded, meaning you're talking about A union B not being shaded. So basically this is a complement. So the question is, are we talking about B, A union B complement intersecting C, or A union B complement union C? That's the question that we have there. So again, we look at this part. This part was supposed to be part of what? Part of C, meaning we had to shade C, but it doesn't comprehensively show that C is shaded comprehensively, because there's this part that is not shaded. Hence we are using what? We are using intersecting what? Intersecting C. So you are saying C is intersecting what? A union B complement. That is what it means. So we go to, remember say this was 2019 GCE. Okay, we go to 2019 school certificate. School certificate. Okay, so this was a very interesting question. This one was not shaded, it was just asking us to shade on our own. Alright, so we were given this set, we are given this Venn diagram here. We are given three sets. We have these three sets that are intersecting. We have our A here, okay, we have our B, we have our what? Our C. This is our universal what? Universal set. So now we are given this, like, to, you see the question says shade A what? A union C. We close a complement outside here, intersecting what? Intersecting B. So this is more like this is more like the previous question that we had, just that the language has been changed. So remember to say our A union C is this whole part. This whole part is our A union C. Then complement that, you're talking about anything outside this, outside here, including this part of B. That's our A union C complement. Then we should also what? Shade whole of B. Then we ask ourselves to say, where are they meeting? It's just basically this part. That's where they are meeting, because if we are to draw the lines, if we are to use the line test, let's try to say we use red for A union C complement, meaning anything outside A union C is what we are going to do what we are going to shade. Okay, that is our A union C complement. We are shading anything outside A union C. Then we go and shade what? Okay, we go and shade our C now. I mean our B. We shade our B using this. We use what? Horizontal lines like that. So now we ask ourselves to say, where are the yellow lines meeting the red lines? It still makes sense. It's still where? It's still this part. That's why our answer is correct. So we use lines to make our work simple, right? So we go to 2020. Okay, 2020 GCE paper 1. Alright, 2020 paper 1, okay, GCE. And the question that we're given was question number what? Question number 6. Interesting. Question 6. Okay, so we were given this Venn diagram. Okay, so we have our P here, we have our Q here, and we have our what? Have our R. That's the part that we have. Okay, let's just try to use a different color so that it will appear different. Okay, let's say we have, right, we have that right there. Then we have the question is asking us to describe the what? The shaded region. So let's try to simplify our work. How do we go about this? So when we look at the shaded part, we know to say there's something to do with what? Q intersecting what? Intersecting R. But it's not comprehensively shaded, because there's this part that is not what? That is not shaded. And that part is in what? Is in P. So it basically means P is a what? P is supposed to be a complement, meaning we are not supposed to shade any part of P. Okay, so what this means is that this Q intersection R is intersecting what? P complement. That is what it means. Yeah, so we go to the 2021 GCE paper 1. So it's very important, provided you understand the operations, the union, the intersection, how to use the complement, and most especially if you try to use the lines to differentiate between, to make to find whether where those lines are meeting, like where they're intersecting, it's going to be very easy for you to approach such questions. So this was the 2021 paper 1 GCE question number, it was question number 4. It was GCE question number 4. So we see you have this, then we were given a Venn diagram that we already shaded. So now the part that was shaded is that, if I'm not mistaken, I think we have dealt with a similar question like this from the question that we are doing. So we have our inverse set, we have our what? Our A, we have our A, we have our B, we have our what? Our C. So in talking about this, we're going to say C is our what? Our complement. Then meaning there was something like A union B, but it's not comprehensive shaded, meaning this A union B intersected C complement. That is why it was not comprehensively shaded. It's as simple as that. You try to use the lines, it still give you what? The same thing. So we go to our last question, that is 2021 paper 1. That's school certificate. Okay, that is school certificate. That was question 4. Very interesting question. Okay, that's what we have right here. Okay, so we had these 3 sets. We have our A, we have our B, we have our what? Our C right here. So the part that was shaded was what? Was this part. That was this part that was shaded. So if we can see this, obviously we have nothing to do with a complement. Nearly all the parts are shaded. There's a part of B shaded, there's a part of A shaded, there's a part of C shaded, hence we are not dealing with complements. But I know that whole of A is what? Shaded. And B intersection C is also what? Shaded. So should I put intersection here or not? The answer is no. Why? Because if I put intersection, basically means I'm talking about what? I'm talking about this middle part here. So what do I mean by A being shaded? We know to say A is shaded, but what about B intersection C? There is this part that is shaded. That is our B what? Intersection C. Then we ask ourselves, what's the relationship between what? A and B intersection what? Intersection C. What's the relationship that we have right there? So we know to say our A is shaded, our B union C is also what? Is also shaded. Okay, so now here it would be very wise for us to use what? Union, meaning we had to shade A, we had also to shade B union C, then we had to unionize them together. Then sorry, not really union in the brackets there, but rather intersection. We say intersection here C. That's what we have there. Maybe write it from this side. We have our A being shaded, and we have our what? Our B intersecting C being what? Being shaded. So the relationship that we have here is what? Is union, because we had to shade our A, we had to shade this one, then we had to put them together. That's what we had. Yeah, so that's how we go about the basic introduction of sets. So it's just a matter of us understanding the union, us understanding how to use the intersection, us understanding how to use the what? The complements, so as the subset, so on and so forth. And again, another point that we need to remember is that it's not always that you're going to have 2 sets that are going to intersect. So if here you have what? Your A, you have these 2 sets, you have your A, you have your, okay, let's say you have these 2 sets, you have your A, you have your what? You have your B right here. So now these 2 sets are not intersecting, hence it means they are intersecting. I mean their intersection is what? Is an empty set. So you can either write that or you can indicate using that. So when you are given such sets, maybe you say, okay, give us A intersection B, you're going to have what? An empty set. Yeah, so that's how you go about in this video. Yeah, and don't forget to subscribe so that you'll be alerted each time we're going to upload videos. Yeah, thank you.